Our goal here on Studio 5 is to help you prepare for the happy memories and those meaningful connections that are coming and coming quickly. Maybe your home, as we look around our surroundings and how we're creating that atmosphere and that ambiance at home, maybe your home decor has changed and evolved in the last little while, and maybe you're feeling now that your Christmas decor needs to change and update with it. Well, we are seeing a lot of ways to upcycle existing ornaments. We've done the hard work and put homemade ornament tutorials to the test. Here with our reveal is lifestyle crafter and all-around life enthusiast who we love dearly. Darcie Liptrot is here. Cutest sweater.
It's me.
Sweater weather. It's me. Why would you want to change the look of your ornaments? Let's set the table.
I think everybody updates their look every now and again, right?
Sure, yeah.
And you've invested in some ornaments that you probably don't want to get rid of.
Yeah.
And these are easy ways to upcycle them or just reinvent your style a little bit on your tree.
Okay, now I don't want to sound like the cynic, but is there a way to upcycle your ornaments in a cost-effective way? Like, is it more cost-effective than just buying new?
Well, isn't that's the big question, right? Like, is this going to be worth it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like in the end, and some of these are really worth it because they are simple and they're cost-effective, and they give you a great, powerful new look. But some of them I was like, I don't know, not my thing. I might just buy that because it would probably cost me a little bit less, and in the long run, energy-wise, it would cost me a lot less.
Sometimes the creative expression is part of the cost, it's part of the fun.
Yes.
You have tried 5 different methods. You're going to tell us what you did and give us that real on-the-ground Christmas conclusion.
Yes, let's go for it.
This first one involves a balloon?
Yeah, so this was the easiest freaking thing I have ever done, and it's pretty impactful. If you have smaller ornaments, you could do this with big ones too, but I think the smaller ones are easier. You're literally just gonna snip off the top of the balloon and stretch it over, tuck it in, slap the cap back on, and there you go.
Look at that.
It is a balloon. It obviously will conform and adhere to all of the textures of that ornament that you had.
It takes the shape and the texture, you're right.
Yeah, and it kind of gives you a matte look. You can get shinier balloons, really, the sky's the limit with balloon selection now.
Did you just say the sky is the limit with balloon selection?
Legit punny. So good.
Well, there are so many balloons, different options and colors and textures.
Yes.
And that is surprisingly impressive. When the lights of the tree, if you're putting it on a tree, for example, were to hit it, I imagine it would illuminate in a really cool way too.
It does, right? It kind of gives it a cool sheen, and you can see the texture if it's a textured ornament, and it's kind of fun and easy, and the kids could do it with you.
Totally, I dig that. Nice job, nice job. What happened here?
So this one is
pretty.
The one that is all the rage, right? This kind of old worldy, textural, cool new anthropology style ornament.
Yes.
That is these.
Yes.
And there are 2 ways to do this one. So you can paint on the ornament and then fluff the flour or baking soda on it while the paint is wet.
I'm sorry, that's flour and baking soda?
Yeah, it's paint, my old gold ornament, and just some I used flour, but you can certainly use baking soda too.
Okay, is this a glass ornament, a plastic ornament, doesn't matter?
This is straight up a plastic ornament.
A plastic ornament, paint and flour.
Super cheap. It came this is the ones that you've had for years. When you first got married, you're like, this is what I can afford ornament. That's this ornament. And it was this was super easy. The 2 ways that are different is this one, you would take the flour and the paint and mix it together.
Oh.
Let it dry, then flour it, and you can gold it like that.
Sorry, flour in paint.
Yeah, you
mix.
Make a paste. It's kind of a paste.
Are we doing it?
We're gonna do this one here.
Okay, all right.
This one was my favorite. This one was a little bit messier, but if
that was the mix?
Yeah, if you are into getting gold all over your finger and rubbing it on, which I am, because then, it was sweet.
You're painted fingers, that's my style.
That's what I go around with, at the store.
Yeah.
And then, but this one was just so simple. I just slapped a little paint on.
Show us, will you show us?
For sure.
Okay.
You're just going to kind of paint it leisurely.
And kind of leisurely.
You're just going to do a leisure.
Slow and calming strokes. And kind of a neutral color underneath, right?
Yeah, any color that you would want, but I kind of picked this color. It's called mushroom because that's kind of the vibe I'm going for on my tree, I just kind of wanted a more earthy tone to it.
That surprises me.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
You like the earthy?
I mean, I do like an
You're
earthy
so bright
tone.
and happy. I would think of you having a rainbow.
Mixed.
Okay.
It's totally got bright red.
All right.
And then you take this flower. So this is just your run-of-the-mill
This is
flower.
so funny. Who thought of this first?
I have no idea, but I love that girl.
Okay, yeah, she's got a mind.
And then you kind of fluff it on, and you're gonna let it dry a little bit because it is wet paint, and then after that, you're gonna brush it off. Now they say to use like a baker's brush or something like that.
Something delicate.
But what I did was just rub the heck out of it. And then it turned out like that.
Oh, I love you, Darcie. And this is the effect. A little more subtle than the more time-consuming mix version.
Yeah.
But gives you that, you're right, that similar effect to the old world antiqued.
Yep, and even for the mix, you're just gonna slap some flour in, you know, just like that, and then go for it. Like you're just gonna mix it together. And that will give you the texture for the gold to grab onto.
All right.
And that's pretty fun.
It seems more ingredients, more household items at play with this next one. What did you do?
So like this one is my favorite
She's
one.
into it. She likes it.
I can't even believe you've seen these at like Crate and Barrel or Pottery Barn or this kind of crystal-y looking ornament.
Yes.
And it was the easiest thing. The hardest thing was waiting for it to come back to you.
You made that. What did you do?
So I just boiled borax in water.
Okay.
Until it became clear again. And then once you do that, you can either keep it in the pot. You take a wooden spoon.
Okay.
You loop the string around this wooden spoon and kind of set it in the pot, or I did a glass jar, and you wait. It can't touch any of the sides or each other, and you just wait for like 12 hours. And that is the hard part, but it was kind of fun because you just set it on the kitchen counter, and then like every so often you go over there and you're like, oh, look, there's some crystals on it. And then before you know it, you have these beautiful crystal ornaments.
This is snow magic. This is Christmas magic. How does it compare to your inspiration?
It compared beautifully. It came out identically. And I was like, and my friend turned me on to this, my hairstylist, and I was like, I have to try it. And it usually is just with pipe cleaner, like you just take the pipe cleaner and tie it, you know, and drop it in the water. But I was like, I saw this garland that looked like snowballs, and I thought, the sky's the limit, right? Like we can do all of it.
Oh my
so
goodness,
I put the
that's so
snowballs
fun.
in, and look how fun they turned out.
That with the chunkier base, kind of that. Oh my goodness, that's so
like
fun.
So good, right?
All right, and down front, just good old-fashioned paint happening on those?
Kind of. I mean, kind of. It is good old-fashioned paint on an ornament, and you paint it all the way around, just like you would any, you know, project. But then, in order to get that milk glass look, you dip it into this polyacrylic, and it's the gloss style. Oh. But like, so this one wasn't my favorite. I love the look and I love how it turned out, but it was messy and it was kind of expensive. Like if you were to do bigger ornaments, these little pots of the polyacrylic, this one is $22. The bigger one is $56. So if you wanted to do anything bigger than this, you know, you're gonna be in it for a minute, you know, not just time-wise, but also a little bit cost-wise.
I mean, beautiful effect, but you're right, a big investment for that.
And the dipping is like Sticky Fingers USA, like even, because you're gonna set it in like something to dry, and it's like, oh,
you know,
that was a manicure I didn't need.
That I wasn't asking for. We're going to stick with the ice crystals. How about it?
Yeah, like $4 to $6 for these to purchase your own glass, you know. So
fun to see the tried and true, what made the Christmas cut, what did not, and your firsthand experience is something we always value. Darcie, where can we get more project ideas from you?
So just hit me up on Instagram at Darcie Does Stuff, because I love to do all the stuff.
You're so good at it. Thank you for sharing your passion, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas
Celebrating
to you.
sweater weather and you.
Yes.
Cutest gal we know.